This record comes from Suryara. What follows is an observation. The third cross mark said 2 days north, the longest walk yet. On the second evening, I stopped and looked at Natwar's map properly. 4 marks, a rough line. I'd been so focused on the marks that I'd missed what the line was doing. It was pointing somewhere, but that was a question for later. The third mark said at the edge of an old town. You don't walk into this town. You walk into its lanes, narrow streets that turn without warning. Houses pressed shoulder to shoulder, their wooden fronts carved so densely that the walls feel like fabric. Balconies leaning towards each other overhead, close enough that neighbors could pass a cup of tea across the street without anyone stretching. Towns like this aren't designed, they are accumulated. Generations of family building around each other, into each other, until the streets themselves hold the family histories. And in a small square between the lanes, a carved stone tower on a single pillar, wide at the top like an open flower, grain scattered around its base, birds arriving in shifts like they had an arrangement. Someone fills it every morning. Someone has filled it every morning for longer than anyone can say. A town that feeds its birds before it feeds itself. Remember that. It matters in a minute. At the heart of the old town, a step well. If you've been with me since the beginning, you remember the step well. The descent, the cool air rising, the water waiting at the bottom, like something patient. This one is older, grander, 7 levels of carved stone descending into the earth, pillars worn smooth by 500 years of hands. The third channel feeds it. Somewhere below the lowest level, water from the north enters this town's oldest heart. I met her on the third level down sweeping, late 50s, cotton sari, sleeves pushed up. She swept the steps the way some people pray, not as a task, as a rhythm. Her family has kept these steps for 6 generations. Her grandmother swept them. Her granddaughter, she said, already follows her down on Sundays. I asked her about the water. She stopped sweeping. She looked at me the way Nutwer looked at his ledgers, like she'd been waiting a long time for someone to ask. The water is fine, she said. That's not what's wrong. She walked me down, fourth level, then the fifth. The air cooler with every step, the light dimmer, the carved pillars closing in like the down above, shoulder to shoulder. At the sixth level, she stopped, pointed at a wide stone ledge overlooking the water below. The stone there was worn differently, smoothed in one long patch, the shape of something heavy that rested there, day after day, century after century. That is where it sat, she said. I asked, what? She looked at me like I'd ask the name of the sun. The Mugrit. You remember Mugrit, the guardian of the deep water? Born, the stories say, from soldiers who died defending stepwells like this one, their duty so unfinished that it outlived their bodies. Every stepwell has one, territorial, severe, patient. It harms no one who comes with respect. And there's a belief in Suryara, old as the stepwells themselves. As long as a Mugrit keeps your stepwell, the water will never run dry. This stepwell had one for 6 generations of her family's memory, the same one, on that ledge. She fed it on festival days. Her grandmother fed it. Her granddaughter has already started leaving it sweets, which it ignored, she said, the way it ignored everything that wasn't its duty. 4 months ago, she said, I came down in the morning and the ledge was empty. She waited for it to return. A day, a week. It did not. In 6 generations, she said, my family has never seen that ledge without it, not one morning. My grandmother used to say the Mugrit was here before the town was. She touched the one stone gently, the way you touch the empty chair of someone missed. On the ledge, I noticed someone had left flowers, a small dish of milk, fresh. The town hadn't stopped bringing its offerings, just in case it came back, just in case it was watching. Now, here's the part that should make this simple. If the guardian leaves, the water must be failing, right? That's the belief. That's the logic. So I looked down at the seventh level. The water was full, not low, not stressed, full. In fact, higher than usual, she told me, arriving faster than it used to. from the channel in the north. The town had noticed the water rising and called it a good year. The town had also noticed the empty ledge but gone quiet about it. Nobody had put the two things together because nobody wanted to. I asked her the question she'd clearly been asking herself for 4 months. If the water is fine, why did it leave? She was quiet for a moment. Then she said the most important thing anyone has said to me since this all began. It never guarded the water, it guarded the way the water behaved. The slowness, the patience. Water that rises like that, fast, easy, all at once. She shook her head slowly. That is not the water it was bound to. Its water is gone. So, it's gone as well. Stay with me here, because the three marks now have given three answers. At first, Rohab, standing in the inlet, fighting the current with their bodies. At the second, Glimlet, stumbling through a rhythm the water no longer keeps. At the third, an empty ledge, 6 generations deep, with flowers on it. One fights, one falls behind, one leaves. That's not three problems. That's one problem seen at three different stages. And the question I can't put down, which stage comes next? I marked the third cross mark that evening. Next to it, Margaret, gone for 4 months. Water, full, ledge, empty. One mark left. But walking out through the lanes, in the last light, past the carved houses, past the bird tower with its evening shift arriving on schedule, I took out the map again. 4 marks, a rough line. And the line doesn't wander. It runs back the way the water comes, upstream, towards wherever this begins.